So first shout out goes out to you guys. Second shout out goes out to Six Bridges Brewery here in Crabapple, and to Andy, who is serving us tonight. Make sure we take care of Andy. We really appreciate the people that make us happy. And on that note. So huge shout out to them for letting us host this year. We really appreciate the space and the accommodation. So thank you again, you guys, for that. And also in the back, behind the camera, in the bright, well, I guess it's not bright, in the beautiful red, we got Nate Sampson, social pro video. Legacy through the lens. You're documenting all the things for us. We greatly appreciate him as well. So if your small business needs a little Hollywood brought to them, Nate's your guy. Another shout out to Zack Knight. He unfortunately couldn't be here tonight. A lot of you probably know him. If you don't, I highly recommend you get to know him. But he is kind of the founder of BATL Brews. This is a adjunct of BATL Brews. BATL Brews is started about a year ago, and it was in collaboration with Atlanta, and I'll get to that in a second. But we are here to build community and to create support, both through civilians, business owners, and our veteran communities. And through that, we've been able to really grow and expand support and community. So Zack Knight with the BATL brand, as well as ATL Vets. We really appreciate him with his collaboration and all these things. And that leads us back to Atlanta, which we have the honor of having the president, Lloyd Knight, here with us. Thank you so much. Ladies, find a seat, order a drink, food's over there. This is super conversational. It's a super laid back night, so feel free to get up as you need. We're here for all of it. So, one more thing on the veteran space. How many veterans do we have in this room tonight? Can we get a round of applause for our veterans? We fully recognize and support all that you guys do to make us be here and available to do these things. So thank you, thank you. I think that is all my thank yous for the moment. I'm gonna go with it. I think if somebody will add it in.
Thank KC with Creating Confidence, who is
Okay, so as she said, I'm KC, founder of Creating Confidence. I am a confidence strategist and image consultant, and hopefully you'll know tonight a little bit more what that actually means. And then to introduce our guests, we have Taylor Merritt, founder of Daddy K Fitness. She is a corporate health and wellness coach, also a personal trainer, and pretty much just a badass in her own right. So here we are. And next to her, the very lovely Laura Hamilton, founder of Empower Nutrition, registered dietitian. Learn to love your nutrition, love your life, eating well. So we really appreciate both of these experts here tonight. Before we dive into the conversation, I really want to give an idea of why we're having this conversation. So I am going to get up on the soapbox for just a moment. I won't stay here long, but I want you to take a little trip. And in the meantime, then we'll dive into questions. So thank you for your patience. But I think that for the benefit of you guys to really understand why we're having this conversation, why it's important, and what the goal of this conversation is, I need to preface it by this. So these three industries up here, fashion, fitness, and food, are some of the three biggest industries in our world. But they are often misunderstood. There's lots of disinformation out there, and they're very intimidating. And we tend to shy away from certain things because we don't understand it. We're overwhelmed with information. We don't know how to utilize it to serve us. And so it becomes this like vortex that we get trapped in. And from a space of what I do in confidence, building, one of my biggest goals is building confidence with people from an internal perspective. And one of the number one things that contributes to our self-confidence is body image. And as you can see, body image is directly linked to fitness and food. But the unfortunate thing about body image is that we are indoctrinated with what that means and what makes us feel pretty or attractive. And often we approach fitness and food from the place of disappointment, shame, trying to look a certain way, not actually trying to approach it from a space of health. And they're very different things. But our culture has blurred the lines of health and wellness and beauty and kind of made them this weird conglomerate where we approach things from a really negative space instead of a really positive space. So these three industries are multi-billion-dollar industries, not just as a collective, but on their own. Multi-billion-dollar industries. And when I say this is for my data people. I've done a lot of research in this space. From the 80s until now, so 30-ish years, depending what part of the 80s you want to pick from, we as Americans consume 500% more in the space of beauty, dieting, and fitness. Do you think that we are 500% happier? No. In fact, we've never had higher numbers of anxiety, depression, eating disorders, you name it, mental, physical, emotional distress, because the excess that we are consuming is done from the wrong perspective. Now, I am not trying to blame any one entity, any one industry, and these things are so important. But understanding why you're doing them and having a good and healthy belief behind why you're doing them changes the game of your success. 90%, back to my data guys, your data people, 90% of Americans enter into a health and wellness program not because they're actually trying to become healthier, but because we're trying to achieve a certain look. Because we, go back to our indoctrinated belief system of body image, think we have to look a certain way. So now, instead of showing up for fitness because we get to move our bodies, we're showing up out of shame and disappointment, fear of rejection, trying to look a certain way. Instead of nourishing our bodies in a way that's really healthy to us, we're eating food that's going to make us look a certain way, or sometimes starving ourselves so we can look a certain way. And we are hiding behind clothes that diminish us instead of dressing in a way that empowers us. And this is why this conversation tonight is so important to me. And the conversation, the goal of this conversation is to start disrupting this belief system. Start talking to industry experts that really know their stuff and really approach from a space they want to help you be a healthy individual and have success long term. So, thank you for going on this trip with me. I'm going to get off my soapbox and I will bring it over to conversation. Just to start off, because a lot of you don't really know Laura or Taylor that well, I really want both of you to take a moment to go into a little more depth about your backgrounds, how you got where you are right now, why you're passionate about what you do. And I don't care who goes first, maybe we should arm wrestle for it. I feel like... No, but in all seriousness, I will just pass the mic. You guys can dish out and start. Just give the audience a little idea of the experts that are in the room.
Can you hear me? Okay. Good. So, yeah, my name is Laura Hamilton. I am the owner and founder of Empower Nutrition, and I have been in the fitness world, diet world, basically my whole life, but really I started right after college. But leading up to college, I was an overweight kid. I played sports all the time, but I was never as thin as my friends. And it always really bothered me. You know, when you get into middle school, the boys don't really like you, and so getting to high school, I did a whole lot of crash dieting, and you name it, I've done that. So I never realized how obsessed I was with my own health and fitness until I got to college and got a health science degree. Mostly just so I could learn more about health and science and how I could be a better individual in hindsight. And then led to being a personal trainer. I did that for years. And then I realized nutrition is really where I want to focus. So, because as important as exercise is, to me, I really wanted to know how to nourish myself because I spent so many years not nourishing myself appropriately. So I got my master's, became a dietitian. I've been a dietitian since about 2010. And I work full-time for CHOA, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. And then I opened my business about almost 5 years ago now. And my passion is really helping anyone who feels not empowered to empower themselves to live a healthy lifestyle that works for them. You know, there are dozens of diets, hundreds of ways to eat, but usually we don't think about what works best for us. We're just gone with someone else's plan or someone else's idea or someone else's thoughts. And really, I help others understand their lifestyle better so that they can eat and live and work out and do things that help them achieve a healthy lifestyle that works best for them long term, not in the short term. And I'm so thankful for this opportunity to speak with you all, and we'll give it a go.
An expert. I love that. She is the brains behind all the Phoebe. Both are. I'm Taylor, for those of you who don't know me, owner of Daddy Tay Fitness. There is a reason it's called Daddy Tay Fitness. There's actually more than one. But a little bit about me. So as a kid, I come from an Italian family, when you can relate to that. So strong-willed, competitive, and big in athletics. The competitive nature, I'd say, falls under both parents. So we've always grown up active. But the biggest thing behind the activity is the fun. And that's something that I emphasize in my business is having fun, feeling like your 5-year-old self. So as I've grown up, like I said, we've always been active, sports, competitiveness. Fast forward to college, was a collegiate athlete. The competitiveness gets a little bit more real, if you will, which is always rewarding, but there's always some toxicity in the competitive world. And both of them kind of honed in on that, so you can kind of play that guessing game. But with that, fitness has always been a personal process for me. So I can kind of, I have made it very therapeutic mentally. I can kind of take some me time. It's my sacred time. And I've always been able to process in those moments mentally and perform physically, whether it's a good day or bad. Fitness has always kind of been that place. And what I love to do with that is carry that over and give that blessing to others so that they can have fun in their own form of fitness, whatever that may be. From walking to running to lifting to yoga to cycling, whatever that looks like for them, it's just creating the fun in the little kid that everybody kind of searches for and wants to be reminded of. Now I own my own business, Daddy Tay Fitness. That was actually named not only by clients, where confidence kind of comes into play. I've always been told, hey, you've always given me something that I didn't think I ever had, and now I'm kind of empowered. I'm using your word. Use fun, right? To move forward with something that I thought I wasn't capable of. And we've kind of worked that through fitness. Off of that, my dad was actually in a really bad motorcycle accident going into my senior year of high school. My brother was serving in Afghanistan, so Veterans Day is very near and dear to my heart. And my dad took the motorcycle out for just to crank it up, warm it up. And about 100 yards from the house, he lost control, hit a tree, and I thought I saw my dad die in my face. So with that, he was always a really healthy individual, always worked out. The doctors actually said he's a miracle. And his tissues were so strong because he took care of himself so well that he was going to make it through without being a paraplegic and breaking everything from the neck down. So I kind of carry that meaning and that purpose that even when I'm in my low points, if I can't do it for me, I can do it for him. So that's kind of like my why behind my fitness role.
I told you I had some killer experts up here, guys. So I appreciate both of you taking the time, sharing your expertise with us tonight. Taylor, I'm going to kick this over to you, and then I'm going to tweak it slightly and kick it to you. But something that I love that you talk about, and I think you touched on it just a little bit, is move your body because you get to, not because you have to. And that resonated with me so deeply because I don't know if you know this, I was not a collegiate athlete unless you count sale shopping. So fitness is something that I've done and played sports growing up, but it's not like I still have to like kind of push myself to go and do it most of the time. It's not where I find my peace of mind. Again, sale shopping. Retail therapy is real, guys. So I love that you talk about moving your body because you get to. And working in the corporate space like you do, working with individuals like you do, I would imagine that you have people coming to you in all different backgrounds, all different fitness levels. How do you utilize that concept, that mindset to meet them where they're at?
I love that you just said meet them where they're at, because that's literally what you have to do. You have to get to know someone. I think the biggest key to success in anything is listening. It's really uncomfortable to walk in, have the courage to walk in and say, I want to move today. Not a lot of people want to do that. It's more of a mental thing. It's once they get moving, they're good to go. And you can be a part of the world that they thought they couldn't be a part of or do. I have trained kids how to hit a ball to a 6-year-old woman that's telling me she's off her diabetes medication. And that's just such a reward to meet someone where they're at and kind of just listen to what they want to do, what they want to achieve, whether it's, hey, I just want to walk for 30 minutes a day, or hey, I want to get off my diabetes medication. It can be so many extremes. Or hey, I just want to like wear a one-piece swimsuit, if it is that, and just feel good from the inside so that I can look at myself from the outside. It can all fall hand in hand, and meeting them where they're at and listening and kind of going from there is really how we taper everything to the individual.
I love that, and I think it's so important because all three of us utilize mindset so much in what we do. Yes, there is an external component to what we do, and you will get benefits from it externally, but it truly does boil down to the mindset, the mental factor, the mental wellness, and around your subconscious and internal piece, and I think that's super important to keep pointing out. Sometimes people need to. Laura, so similar concept, but so I met Laura through a business group, and based on my story, I've had lots of health issues. I've seen lots of doctors over the years. I have had lots of issues around nutrition, not being able to absorb food properly, lots of metabolism issues. So I've seen a lot of dietitians, I've seen a lot of nutritionists, I've seen a lot of doctors around metabolism and gut health. And so I have had lots of conversations in this space, and a lot of times it's like, well, you just have to do it. Well, that's not very helpful. It's not motivating. But when I was talking to Laura, one of the things she first said that just like blew my mind, and I'm paraphrasing here so you can edit it, but she goes, okay, I'm gonna check up for a second. So, sorry, I had to check up. But she said, nobody knows your body like you do. My job is figuring out how to teach you to nourish it so you can sustain it. And that's so real. Like, how much more motivating is nutrition from a place of you can do this in a way that fits you versus you just gotta do it. This is how it has to be. And you're like, but so I love that, and I want you to kind of talk about that and how you meet your clients where they're at, how that plays into how you develop programs for them, all of that.
Well, thank you for that. I'm glad that resonated with you. But I mean, show of hands, how many people have ever been on a diet before? That's like almost everybody. Thank you. So when you follow a diet, you follow the rules and regulations. But have you ever taken a second to think, well, I'm not on that diet anymore? I mean, raise your hand. Are you still on that same diet? No, nobody's on the same diet because nobody wants to do something that someone's telling them to do that they don't really want to do. So I find it extremely important to allow people to take okay, if you want to lose weight, the goal is to burn calories and, do it in a way that works best for you to lose weight. I mean, that's science and biology. You have to go with that. But what if you did it in a way that you enjoy, right? If you like eating pizza, and if someone told you can't eat pizza ever again until you lose 20, 30 pounds, and that's kind of daunting and kind of yucky, and no one really wants to do that. Some people might, fight through that, but I guarantee you, if they really love pizza, they'll be eating it again someday. And if they haven't learned how to enjoy it while they're achieving their goals, they're probably going to go back and not be and reach the goals and keep the goals that they had wanted in the first place. Come on in.
I feel bad walking in front of you.
Come on in. But, meeting people where they're at is so important. We've all been eating our whole lives. We all have knowledge of food, and there is so much noise out there about what's good, what's bad, what you can eat, what you can't eat, I was talking to a young lady in the back about what you can can digest what you can't digest. And there's a lot of validity to some things, but nothing's more valid than how you feel about what you're eating and the ability to keep up with that and live your life with your kids and your work and your schedule and this and that. I mean, you have to make it work for you. Otherwise, you're not going to keep doing it. And the goal is to live a healthy, happy, sustainable life. You've got to start with you. You've got to start with where you're at, what you enjoy.
Amazing. And on that note, guys, don't be afraid to go refill drinks and all the things. This is here for fun and conversation, and we want to make sure we take care of Andy as well. So by all means, do not hesitate to jump up as you need. There's also food over there if you want to order it. They will deliver. Yeah. And don't, like, Laura, close your ears, but the brisket nachos are the jam. So highly recommend. They're totally shareable. For a brief intermission. Intermission. And now I'm on offense. No. So I really want to talk about sustainability within this. I know with like my client work, creating foundations that are sustainable is really important. And when I am working with clients in that space, what I found when I was just doing the fashion piece, which I love, I've been in fashion for 17 years, I think it's a great tool, I have a lot of fun with it, but when you're just putting people in cute outfits because they want to look cute, that's great. But what I found is 6 months down the road, they're not wearing that stuff anywhere. And I had to ask why. And it's because clothes became a Band-Aid. They weren't a solution. For me to create a solution for them, we had to tap into what was going on in the internal piece. What are the stories that are going on that make them feel a certain way about their body, that make them feel a certain way about their image? And if I can help them heal from that perspective first, and then curate a wardrobe to put their best foot forward authentically, it's so much more powerful and so much more sustainable. It's like putting Neosporin on the Band-Aid. It actually heals the wound versus just covering the wound up. And so it became really important for me to find ways to create sustainability for my clients because it wasn't sustainable when I just created cute outfits. And so I want to know how you ladies, and I don't care again who starts, I'm still waiting for mom myself. What you guys do to create sustainability for your clients. These are sometimes whole life patterns we're reworking, trying to build new habits and things like that. So how do you guys go about creating sustainability for your clients?
What a great word. So sustainability, for me, I like to start with, I think there are 3 key pillars of my nutrition business and belief system. The first one is awareness. We have to take a step back and think about what is happening in our life before we can start bulldozing through it, right? You want to lose weight, you want to get stronger, healthier, whatever it is, all of those goals are fantastic. But if you don't have an awareness of what your life is like right now, for example, you are going into the busy season at work, or you have multiple children and they have multiple events, and your husband or wife or partner are doing many things and they're traveling, they can't help you. If you are taking account your actual day-to-day existence into your goals, how can you achieve the things that you want to do for the long haul, or happily or easily? So the first key pillar is awareness. We have to take into consideration your lifestyle, what you want, what your goals are, along with what you eat. The craziest thing that I do, many people think it's great, I ask people what they eat, and they give me what I want to hear, what they think I want to hear. But they don't actually take into account what they're actually doing, and that's what I want. I want to know, what do you actually eat? With no judgment. I don't care. I do not care. It doesn't really matter. What matters is you know what you're eating so that we can work on that behavior. You got here from eating something for a period of time, so there's like that secret's over. Let's just look at it. So the first piece is awareness. The second piece is habit stacking. So once we figure out the awareness, we build a little plan, we need to then build habits around it so we keep them. We keep the habits that coincide with the awareness. And then we also really want to be curious. So any Ted Lasso fans? Yeah. You know, be curious, not judgmental. Not that he said it first, but you know, it's you. You have a curious mindset. But what I mean by that is instead of berating ourselves or judging ourselves or being angry at ourselves for eating that extra slice of pizza because we were starving or having extra beer or whatever it is that you think you're demonizing on yourself, you gotta be curious. Why did I do that? Was I extra hungry? Did I not eat lunch? How can I avoid that situation in the next time around? Being curious allows us to ask the questions to get the answers to move forward. If we're not, we're just judging ourselves and being angry, and we're not getting anywhere, staying stuck. And so with those three things, that's how I really developed that kind of foundational piece of nutrition and fitness.
Well, we are kind of similar. I was still awareness all day. You got to know where you're at, so you have a way of getting to where you want to go, right? So being aware of where you're at, what's going on in your life, what's in your environment, what can you say no to if you need to say no, and what do you say yes to and it's inevitable. Your controllables versus your uncontrollables. We all have them, we're human, and it's life. So being aware of where you're at, how you're feeling. So on the nutrition side of things, it's a lot of people say you are what you eat. Well, if that's the case, always, you are there, then I am queso. See, she knows me. I am queso. Go queso. But giving yourself some love and some grace, like have your Friday night, have your Saturday night, kick it with a husband or wife, and drink wine. Just creating the habits of doing more healthy than not is super key. The reality of where you can fit the things that you want into your life is super key as well. So from the fitness perspective, there are people, I wake up at 4 every day. I do not expect that from anyone I talk to, okay? I actually mean that when I say it. I wake up at 4 every day. It is my thing. I've done it since I was a little girl, not for fitness, but for work, and then it just kind of built me into a space, and it became my fitness hour, and I love it. It's my sacred time. It's 1 hour. I was at the DC airport, so yes, that sacred time got taken away from me, but it is an uncontrollable, right? So the awareness to the reality. I have people that have stayed with me for years, and they are avid 5 p.m.ers, 2 p.m.ers, 9 a.m.ers. They're not 4 and 5 a.m.ers. It is what it is. You got to meet them where they're at. You got to meet yourself where you're at. Once you can do that, you can, what Laura likes to call it is habit stack. You can create routine and habits, but the word I like to kind of use for that is committing to yourself. Think of it like a relationship. It is a relationship with yourself. When you're in a relationship with someone else, you're committed, you're loyal. So when you find the awareness, you know where it's realistic. So fitness is where I'm coming from. Where can I fit a 30-minute workout, a 60-minute workout 3 times a week? If that's realistic for you. You pick the times, say that plural, because sometimes it's not always the same time. And you're committed to yourself. It's your 1 hour, your 30 minutes, your 20 minutes of sacred time. And once you start building that, the only way from there is you're just going to feel good about it. I've never heard a person say that I took 30 minutes for myself of sacred time, and not one person, if you say this to yourself, I don't know who you are, feels bad about it. You should always feel good about that. 30 minutes of walking, jogging, sunlight, whatever that may look like for you, is only going to make you feel better. And whatever makes you feel better is what you project onto other people. Whether that's your husband, your wife, your kids, those around you, your business partners. So everything is a domino effect. And if you're only making yourself better, it's only going to happen for those around you.
So I love that you said that, because in reality, the relationship with yourself is the only one you're guaranteed forever. And so I tell my clients all the time, your goal right now is self-love is your relationship goal. That's what we're working on. And so I really love that you brought that up. And I think that both of you, what you touched on is just a reminder of why I was so excited to have this conversation tonight, because we all operate under the same principle, the same foundation of serving people through different entities that so commingle, and it's like this is very powerful. I'm excited. So, moving on, and this is a conversation you and I have had, Taylor. Motivation versus discipline. Okay, so when I'm working with clients and I'm guiding them through this work, I do everything to set up for success, small, actionable steps that we can take along the way. And although I try to make it as simple as possible, it doesn't mean the work is easy. And when things are not always easy, you lose motivation sometimes. And so how can I set up strategies or tools for my clients who then have the discipline to do it when it's not easy, when they don't necessarily feel the motivation, when they wake up feeling bloated and they're like, ugh. You know, and that's so real. You can't control some of those things with the body. And so it's finding those tools. For me, it's utilizing, it's celebrating small wins along the way. It's setting up strategies, utilizing tools like my app that set them up for success. So I'm curious how you guys work on creating discipline from a perspective of support when motivation isn't there.
We could see so many things of that.
I know.
So discipline is definitely my word over motivation. I don't wake up happy human every day. Sometimes I let out a war cry. You guys would know all about that. I think the main thing to think about when you want to create discipline is your why. And I know a lot of people say that, but like, there really is a reason behind what you want to do. And it's not just how I look in the mirror. There really is a why. KC kind of touched on it. I get to. I almost lost my dad in front of my eyes, and I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer, but I've always been active and it's always been fun. But seeing that, the new perspective in my mind at age 17, when you drop everything you're doing and you miss school, you miss 43 days of your senior year, and you're working for your family, but you still look at it from an opportunity. So I wasn't motivated to do a lot of things. I was mad at the world. I was like, why did this happen to my dad? He was the most fit, active person. He worked on himself. He always kept the kids in check. He put healthy foods in our bodies, as well as my mom. But this unfortunate event happened to him. And the reality of it was is the fact that he took care of his body and he took care of us so well. He made that commitment to himself and his family is why he survived. So I can look at that and take that as an unfortunate, but there's an opportunity in it. And sometimes when I wake up, that is my why, and it creates the discipline that just keeps me going. Today I woke up at 2 a.m. and the best I could get today was a walk. It was the hot sunshine, but I'm so grateful for it because I get to have that. And it can be taken from you at any moment. So to put it simple, discipline for me is easy because it can be taken. And I think that for our active military and veterans, and you guys can directly relate, something that Zack, who is not here right now, doing something for the greater good, he always touches on, and sometimes he checks me, he'll wake up and he's so excited to be able to wake up. Sit on that for a second, he gets to wake up. All he wants is his feet to hit the floor, and he is like pumped. And most of you guys have met Zack. He is like a butterfly. He's like, hey guys, and he'll give you a little help, but he loves life. He loves people because he gets to have life. And I think that's something I kind of carry over into the fitness perspective is like, I get to move my body. I get to feel good about my body. Whether that means the discipline to just take a walk that day or lift weights or grab a buddy and let her kick my butt in a workout. She does kick my butt in a workout, y'all. Whatever. But that's a discipline. I can support my reason and find, clients or whatever you'd like to call it, their reason and help them with that. Obviously, there's other tools like an app and checking on them and saying, hey girl, what'd you do today? I'm watching with love. So,
Always watching, always watching. That's a great question. So I like to think about motivation and discipline in kind of a different way. But has anyone ever tried to get water from like a faucet, try to hold it in your hands, and you get it for like a minute, but then eventually it just like falls through your fingers? And that's motivation. You have to like a bit, and then it slowly like fades away without you going back for more. Find some reason to get more. And we all know it goes away, and everyone says like, oh, I don't have the motivation to do this. Well, kind of touching on the getting up. Like you get up, you brush your teeth, you go to work. Like think about your day. Every day get up and you go to work. You do things over and over and over. Did you ever ask yourself if you're motivated to do that? No. I mean, there's so many things we do all the time. So the goal for me within my clients is to find out their why, but also like recognize that every day is not going to be 100% awesome. We still have to do it, right? Like someone might piss you off, you might have a bad day, but you're still getting up, going to work, doing the things that you're supposed to do because you know that that is a part of your life, your lifestyle, that's going to, at the end of the day, take care of yourself, your family. Same thing with your health, though, too. So within my clients, I like to use a lot of data and information. It's hard to improve what you can't measure. Like if you're not measuring something and looking at that and seeing the growth and the transparency of, okay, I was here, but now I'm here, and look at all that hard work I just did. Even if it's not the scale, even if it's just, I brought my lunch to freaking work every day this month. Hallelujah, celebrate that win and keep it moving. And then, keep your purpose in it. This is just what I do. You start to become that person that brings their lunch to work that you never did before. I just am now that person. And when you become that person, discipline's easy because it just is. It's just who you are. And you don't even think about it. You might fall off, but you get right back on real quick because it just is who you are. And that's a little bit of what I do with my clients.
I love it. I think we both really touched on the fact that, well, this is something I touch on, so I'm going to drive it home a slightly different point, but emotions drive our habits, but beliefs drive our intention. So how can we develop habits out of intention instead of emotion? Because emotion is up and down. We can change that in 2.2 seconds. But if you are operating as a belief system, then you operate out of intention instead of a habit. And so I really love that both of you guys touched on that. I think it's really important. So I really want to touch on myth busting. As I brought it up earlier, we have a lot of disinformation happening in our industries, a lot of things in that arena. And I think if I had to pick one thing that drives me the most crazy, that will make me blow my fuse fastest, is when people tell me they can't like themselves until XYZ. They're trying to achieve a goal before they can have confidence. They're trying to lose a certain amount of weight. They're trying to reach a certain status, make a certain income. And then if they claim they reach those things, they will magically like themselves better. And it's such a smoke and mirrors game. You have to like yourself first. And you're worth liking yourself first while you achieve the goal. And so I think if I had to blow something up, it would be that. It would be like, no, you get to like yourself now, today, in the body you have, in kind of the status that you have, and then you get to achieve the goal. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox and ask you guys, what myth in your industry do you want to blow up? What thing drives you crazy?
It's a good one. It's a really good one.
That there are good and bad foods. Can't. I hate it. I hate it so much. Because foods are not good or bad. You are not a bad person because you eat queso. You are not. Should be the devil if that were the case. But it is, food is to be enjoyed. And food is wonderful and it tastes great. It makes us happy and we get to spend our time with others. There are no good or bad foods. Yes, there are foods that have better nutrition profiles, that have more to help us be healthier individuals, for sure. And if we could eat more of those and less of the ones that don't allow us to thrive, that would be optimal. But there are no good or bad foods. When people ask me, can I eat this? I don't know, can you? I don't know. You can eat whatever you want, but you know why you're eating it, what's it going to do for you, how you're going to feel about it. I mean, there is more to food than just good or bad, but that is what I hate that.
Yeah, I love yours. That's a good one. That's a big one. I need to lose 20 pounds before I come and see you. And I'm like, I'm so confused right now. Zach actually gave me that example. I didn't want to hire cleaners. Side note, I didn't want to hire cleaners. I've never had cleaners that was cleaned. And time is money. You pay for time now, right? Because we move so fast in the world that we live in. And it was either have relationship time and me time, or was pay for a bi-weekly cleaner. She's phenomenal. And he was like, would you accept a client if they said, hey, I need to lose 20 pounds before I come and see you. And I'm like, it's a good perspective. Because I kept waiting and waiting, and the house never got clean, right? So you're never going to act unless you take your first step forward. So yes, I love that one. I think a big misconception is that people think the workout should kill you, on a fitness perspective, the workout should kill you in order for you to feel good. People make comments all the time, oh, you must work out 7 days a week for 3 hours. And I'm like, no, girl, my attention span is not that long. It's a solid 30, maybe 60 minutes, 4 to 5 days a week, and I definitely get my days off and my pay still in. I am a full believer in love what you do, what you put in your body is what you get out, but have fun with what you're doing. So I make fitness fun. I love eating the foods that I love, and I love that you touched on creating the what's it doing for you, why are you eating it. I think that goes really, really in hand with understanding what you're putting in your body is what you get out, and giving yourself some grace. So both sides of you guys and what you guys touched on is probably very similar.
So I'm going to ask you this quick question before I have one more before we head into Q&A. So I want you guys to have the opportunity. You talked about kind of how you meet your clients where you're at, how you serve them, why it's so important to you. What do you have going on now? What are you working on? What's in the future for Empower Nutrition, for Daddy's New Fitness? What are you trying to get people to show up to? Tell us about those things. Rolling out the red carpet. Tell these people, tell the audience, all the things you got going on.
What a great question. So I have been a solo entrepreneur for almost 5 years now, and my business has gone through many transitions. But right now, I am currently trying to get out and speak more and share my knowledge and do seminars. So the first thing that's coming up for me is I'm doing a seminar at Body Fit Training, which is BFT. It's a brand new gym that actually opened up in Roswell. Awesome gym, and a phenomenal program, phenomenal trainers there. And so I'm doing a seminar there on July 8th, and I have a QR code flyer that we can put out if you'd like to come. It's totally free. Bring your family, friends. You don't have to be a member of that gym at all. But I'm going to be talking about optimizing nutrition for the everyday athlete. And what that really means is everyone's an athlete. You pick up kids, you pick up groceries, you break leaves. We don't shovel snow here, but people do. But we do things. We're active all the time, and if we're not fueling ourselves appropriately or learning how different foods can help us feel better, help you move better, reach your goals better, then we're doing ourselves a disservice. So it's a 40-minute presentation on optimizing your nutrition for the everyday athlete, and I welcome people to come to that. So that's July 8th at BFT. And then I am also going to be offering a macros program. So it'll be a self-paced course that you can do on your own, but it will also have weekly coaching. So if you need help during that course, we'll have weekly coaching sessions. And then I'm also opening up a 12-month mastermind coming up in September. So it'll be a weekly coaching call from foundations to holidays to you name it. I have a whole 12-month curriculum, weekly meetings with guest speakers, of course, and it's going to be a really phenomenal year of learning and reaching higher levels with your nutrition. And, well, any questions? And yeah, there you go. So far, so good.
Well, basically, she's got the airplane job. I don't. So here's that. Where'd you go? I don't know how to go behind that. Community is probably my biggest thing, if you can't tell. I absolutely love more people in the room. How can we pour into each other? How can we goof off and carry a sandbag or don't? So anytime we have events, I want to push that as much as possible. Everyone is welcome. Bring your mom, bring your kid. I I love tapering it to the individual in the largest setting possible. So check out our events page. I want to push that forward. You'll see events at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the Home Depot backyard, where we do workouts, we do hikes, get out of the house, we change that up. There should be one coming up soon, not in July, or we might have one in July. I'll check that. We have a QR code for that. But I do want to push the events. You should see 1 to 2 active events monthly. And we collaborate obviously in the veteran space, the business space. It's a place where you can not only make a friend, stay active, network. So think about it, business owners or not, you always have a safe space and a fun space to be in. And then there's always speaking engagements. So if that's something that you're looking for, obviously we're on stage, if you will, right now. But we always love pushing that forward, getting more people in the room, because you don't know what you don't know until you know. So some of you guys might have picked up some fun facts today. Some of you might have already known some fun facts today. Hopefully you grabbed something, and we always want to push that. I also offer a virtual platform. So you can download the BATL Fitness app and talk with me through that. It's super cool. It's kind of like a social media platform, but a little bit more private for you. And then I have accountability calls. So kind of checking out where you're at and where we can help you kind of move forward. Those are on Sunday. So.
Sweet. So you guys can connect with them. We'll have open networking after this on any questions you might have regarding that. One last question before we jump into Q&A. If anybody has some follow-up questions. But one tip that they can take home with them, implement tomorrow simply, that can just kind of help jumpstart them in whatever it might be. And I'll give you guys a second because I will go first. But if I had to give you one tip, it's understanding why you're wearing the clothes you're wearing, why you're buying them. You spend a whole lot of money on things you don't utilize. So go to your closet, pull out 3 of your favorite things, sit down with a pen and paper and ask yourself, why are they your favorite things? And if they are any reason other than they bring you joy, they make you feel fabulous, we need to reevaluate why you're buying clothes.
Okay. Mine is why and commitment to yourself. So find something that's realistic, time-wise, 20, 30 minutes a day, a couple days a week. Fit it in, it's your sacred time. Commit to it, whatever that looks like, a walk or some other form of activity. So commit and reason. Figure out why you're doing it, right?
This is just going to go for general health. So, how many people ate a vegetable today? Oh my gosh, that's a lot more than I expected. How many eat a vegetable every day? Okay. Well, then I guess I don't need to say anything. Everyone's here, he's an expert. My goal was,
You're fine. It's open conversation. Come on in.
more so what I hear, so I work with kids as well, and there isn't enough fruits and vegetables going around in families these days for what I hear. So my message is do this what you will, but eat a fruit and a vegetable every single day. For you, for your kids, for your family, please do it. Just get in a habit or routine. Make it a part of your life. Your body and your gut will thank you forever and ever. And then eat more of them once you start doing it.
Okay, so first of all, huge round of applause. These ladies are amazing. I'm going to walk around with the mic. If anybody has a question they want to ask or insight they want to share, we just ask that you speak into the mic because we are live streaming this and we want the people that aren't here to be able to hear. So raise your hand, shout out. I will come your way with a microphone. Any Q&A, follow-up questions, you can ask the panel. You can ask it directed at one person. Anything that we can help give you more information than you came with.
Not all at once.
Don't be shy.
Okay. Going on?
Big
Sweet.
I'll start.
Bring it.
Gotta start somewhere.
Love that.
Softball question.
Shoot.
Home gym or subscription to a gym outside the home?
Ooh, great question. Sorry. Who's looking out? Personally, both. Success rate, so talk about numbers. I see more people get out involved with group fitness or in the community. Typically works a lot better with a small group or a large group. Hopefully that answers your question.
Subwares. Any other
Subwares.
questions, thoughts, comments, concerns? Oh, yes. Fabulous, Lisa.
I wanted to thank you too. You said something that both of you, all three of you said something that you don't hear often. And it is, we wanted to make this work based on your needs because one diet does not fit most. Thank you. I mean, you don't hear that enough. You see Instagram and it's like, do this, try this. And that's where people get into more trouble because they're trying diets and exercises that don't fit that and are not sustainable. So I applaud all three of you for saying, yes, do what works for you.
Thank you.
We're going to applaud that.
Thank you. Any other insights, questions? Sweet. I'm giving you all the time I left up here to decide. Guys, you have been an incredible audience. We super appreciate you being here again. If you stay and network, whatever it is, as long as you want, come and ask these lovely ladies questions, how they can help. A couple quick announcements. As Taylor mentioned, look for the events going on. There are so many things happening to build community in this area, down in Atlanta even, all across. Yes, she's got QR code that you can
If you're
scan.
interested in coming to the seminar, I have a full registration page here with information to sign up. Come in, grab one. Maybe I can leave one here.
And soak it up all night. So one other announcement besides making sure you're checking, looking for events. We love and appreciate all the support. The BATL Business Summit is coming up first weekend of August. Tickets are on sale now. Guys, this is 3 days of impactful keynote speakers, workshops, things for personal development and business development. There are some huge names speaking, like Brian Stott with the former Ren Falcon player. Michael J. Coles, a 8-figure business owner multiple times, is speaking and teaching. So make sure there are early bird specials going on ticket prices right now. That would be a great time to check that out. And anything I'm missing? Announcement wise?
You can go to, don't know the site to go to, we have tons on Atlanta.org. It is .org, yes? Okay, so I'm like, oh, I always do that. Okay, so sorry. Atlanta.org, beatactfulleader.com. I have some on daddytafefitness.com. I mean, they're all over and they're very collaborative. So check out those sites if you want to get more involved in the community, whether it's networking, activity, all of them. You definitely want to see your faces and whoever you bring, everyone is welcome. It is like a world of fun. So, thank you.
Well, go network, have a drink, eat something. Thank you.